I walked into my own house at 7 p.m. on a Friday, carrying my suitcase from 3 months on the road. 3 months of business meetings, negotiations, building partnerships that would add another 10 medabuers to the company's valuation. 3 months away from what was supposedly my family. The dining room smelled incredible. Grilled meat, roasted garlic, expensive wine. My wife Jennifer sat at the head of the table, my seat. But I'd been gone so long she'd claimed it. My daughter Ashley, 22 years old and supposedly in college, was on her phone. My son Brandon, 19, was cutting into a perfectly cooked ribeye steak. They were eating dinner. Without me. Without waiting. "Oh, Marcus," Jennifer said, not looking up from her wine. "You're back. There's some food in the fridge if you're hungry." Not welcome home. Not we missed you. Not even basic acknowledgement that I'd been gone for 3 months, working to pay for this house, this dinner, this life. I walked to the kitchen, opened the fridge, found a plate covered in plastic wrap, leftover chicken from what looked like several days ago, some congealed mashed potatoes, limp green beans. I brought the plate back to the dining room, sat down at the only empty chair, the one farthest from the table, practically in the corner. "That's really what you're giving me?" I asked. "Leftovers. You're eating steaks and I get reheated chicken." Ashley looked up from her phone, laughed, actually laughed. "Dad, come on. You're not really part of this family anymore. You're just the ATM, the wallet that funds our lives. You don't even live here." She wasn't wrong about that last part. I'd been staying in hotels when I was in town, had been for 6 months. They'd never asked why, never cared why, never noticed I'd essentially moved out of my own house. "Ashley, that's harsh," Brandon said, then grinned. "But kinda true. I mean, when's the last time you were actually here, Dad? You're always traveling, always working. We barely know you." "I'm working to pay for your life," I said quietly. "For this house, for your college, for your cars, for everything." Jennifer finally looked at me. "And we appreciate that, Marcus. We really do. You're very good at making money. That's your role, provider. But don't expect us to treat you like you're actually part of our daily lives. You chose work over family. This is the consequence." I stared at her, at this woman I'd been married to for 23 years. This woman who'd never worked a day since we got married, who lived in a $1 million house I'd bought, who drove a Mercedes I'd paid for, who spent $5,000 a month at the country club I funded. This woman who was currently wearing a dress that cost more than most people made in a month, who had a fresh manicure, fresh highlights, fresh Botox, all paid for by the ATM she was dismissing. "You know what?" I said. "You're right. I chose work, and work chose to reward me, handsomely, and you've all benefited from that. So yes, I'll accept my role, as the provider, as the ATM." I stood up, took my plate of leftovers, walked back to the kitchen, threw it in the trash, walked out of the house, got in my car, my personal car, not the BMW I'd bought Jennifer, not the Audi I'd bought Ashley, not the Jeep I'd bought Brandon, my modest Honda Accord that I'd had for 8 years, the one they'd made fun of. Dad's sad little car, drove back to my hotel, sat in the room overlooking the city I'd helped build my tech company, employed 300 people locally, contributed millions to the local economy. The city where my family lived in luxury while treating me like an inconvenience. And I made a decision. They wanted me to be the ATM? Fine. I'd show them exactly what that meant. What happened when the ATM stopped working? When the money stopped flowing? When the provider decided to stop providing? I opened my laptop, started reviewing files I'd been keeping for years. Documentation of every expense, every luxury purchase, every entitled demand. The evidence was damning. Jennifer's spending $2.3 million over the past 3 years. Country club, $180,000. Shopping, $890,000. Spa treatments, $156,000. Charity events, $340,000. I checked the charities had received nothing. She was using the money for her boyfriend. Boyfriend. Yes, I knew about him. Had known for 18 months. Had evidence, photos, text messages, hotel receipts, all documented, all saved. Ashley's spending $850,000 over 4 years. Private college tuition. She'd failed out 3 times, $420,000. Luxury apartment, $240,000. Shopping, $190,000. She hadn't graduated, hadn't even completed 2 years, had partied away $500,000 while posting on Instagram about earning her degree through hard work. Brandon's spending $680,000 over 3 years. Private high school, $180,000. Cars, he totaled 2, $180,000. Gaming equipment and streaming setup, $95,000. College tuition for school he barely attended, $225,000. He told me last month he was taking a gap year. The gap year involved playing video games in an apartment I paid $3,500 a month for. Total family spending, over $3.8 million in the past 3 years, on a family that treated me like an inconvenient wallet. That gave me leftovers while eating steaks. That laughed about me on social media. That couldn't even be bothered to say, "Welcome home." I opened my secure email, the one only my financial manager had access to. Typed, "Robert, effective immediately. Freeze all secondary accounts. All credit cards linked to my primary accounts. All automatic payments for properties I don't personally occupy. All country club memberships. All vehicle payments except my personal car. All subscriptions. Everything connected to Jennifer Hammond, Ashley Hammond, and Brandon Hammond. Also, prepare divorce filings. Invoke prenuptial agreement clause 7B. Financial separation in case of infidelity. I have documentation ready to send. Do this at 6 a.m. EST. I want them to wake up to reality." Marcus, I hit send at 3:17 a.m. Then I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about 20 years of marriage. 20 years of building a company from nothing, of traveling constantly to secure deals, of providing everything my family needed and most of what they wanted. 20 years of being treated like the help, like the invisible man who paid bills, like the ATM they'd just explicitly called me. I thought about the moment I should have left. Maybe it was 5 years ago when Ashley had screamed at me for buying her a cheap car, a $35,000 SUV, instead of the $70,000 luxury model her friend had. Maybe it was 3 years ago when Brandon had totaled his first car drunk driving. No injuries, thank God. And his first words when I'd arrived at the police station were, "You'll buy me a new one, right?" Not, "I'm sorry." Not, "I fucked up." Just entitlement. Maybe it was 2 years ago when I discovered Jennifer's affair and she'd said, "Well, if you were home more, I wouldn't need to find attention elsewhere. This is really your fault, Marcus." Or maybe it was tonight. The leftover chicken, the laughter, the explicit statement, "You're just the ATM." That was the moment. That was when the ATM stopped working. I slept surprisingly well. The financial architecture. To understand what I'd just done, you need to understand what my family didn't know about me. They thought I was a traveling salesman. "Dad sells software" was how Ashley described me to her friends. "He's boring" was Brandon's version. "He travels for work" was Jennifer's dismissive explanation when country club friends asked what I did. They weren't technically wrong. I did travel. I did sell software in a sense. What they didn't know, I was the CEO and majority owner of TechBridge Solutions, a B2B software company I'd founded 23 years ago with $50,000 and a laptop, We provided integration software for manufacturing companies. Boring, yes. Profitable? Extremely. Current valuation, $50 million. My personal net worth, approximately $32 million after taxes and business expenses. My family had no idea. None. How was this possible? How did my wife of 23 years not know her husband was worth tens of millions? Simple. I'd never told them, never corrected their assumptions, never flaunted wealth. Here's why. When I'd started the company, Jennifer had been dismissive. Software. Marcus, that's a hobby. Get a real job. So I'd kept my real job as a sales manager at a telecommunications company, made $60K a year, enough to pay bills, built TechBridge in evenings and weekends. When the company started making real money 5 years in, I'd quit the day job. Told Jennifer I was doing software sales full-time now. She'd rolled her eyes. As long as you can still pay the mortgage. I could pay the mortgage. I'd paid it off entirely 3 years later, never told her. Just kept making the payments into a separate account. The house, the $1 million house they lived in. I'd bought it outright 10 years ago. Title in my name only. Jennifer had never asked to see the deed. Never cared. Just enjoyed living there. The cars? Leased through my company. In my company's name. They drove them. I paid for them. But legally, mine, country club membership, corporate account. My company was listed as member. Jennifer was my spouse guest. She thought she was a full member. She wasn't. Every credit card Jennifer carried, authorized user on my accounts, not joint accounts. My accounts where I'd added her as user. Same for Ashley, same for Brandon. They thought they had their own credit cards. They had access to mine. Access I could revoke anytime. The luxury apartments Ashley and Brandon lived in. I paid rent directly to landlords. Leases in my name as guarantor. Kids thought they were independent. They weren't. They were living in properties I funded that I could stop funding instantly. Why had I structured everything this way? Partly protection. I'd insisted on a prenup before marriage. Jennifer had been pregnant with Ashley. I'd been 22 and terrified, and my father had insisted. The prenup was ironclad. In case of divorce, assets acquired during marriage would be divided, but assets in my name, only including business assets, property purchased solely by me, and accounts without joint ownership remained mine. Infidelity clause. If either party cheated, the cheating party forfeited all claims to shared assets. Jennifer had signed it barely reading it, eager to get married before she was showing too much. But partly, I'd structured it this way because even then, even at 22, I'd seen something in Jennifer, something entitled, something that saw me as a provider, but not as a partner, something that would take everything and give nothing. I'd been right. Over 20 years, as my company grew, as my wealth multiplied, I'd watched my family become more entitled, more dismissive, more contemptuous, and I documented everything. The evidence files on my laptop, Jennifer Affair documentation. 47 photographs of her with tennis instructor, Marcus Dane. Yes, same first name as me, the irony. 312 text messages retrieved from cell phone records, 18 hotel receipts, all charged to credit cards I paid for. Dating back 18 months, including texts like, "My husband is such a bore, so glad I have you." And, "He'll never leave, he's too weak, I can do whatever I want." That one had stung. Too weak to leave, maybe she'd been right. Until tonight, until the leftover chicken, Ashley academic failure. Transcripts from 3 different private colleges. Total cost, $420,000. Credits earned, 47. Need a 120 to graduate. GPA, 1.8. Current status, withdrawn for academic performance. Her Instagram, almost done with my degree. Hard work pays off. Chaktram Blondies do it better. Daddy's money. That hashtag. Daddy's money. She wasn't even hiding it. Brandon destructive pattern. 2 totaled vehicles. Insurance claims. $95,000 combined. 1 DUI. Lawyer fees. $15,000. Covered by me. 1 assault charge dropped. Settlement. $25,000. Covered by me. College attendance. 34% of classes over 2 semesters. Gaming equipment purchases. $8,700 in past 6 months alone. Employment history, 0. His Twitch stream bio, living the dream on dad's dime lol. That lol. That casual acknowledgement that he was living off me while contributing nothing, while treating me like a joke. Family dynamic documentation. I'd been recording certain conversations for 6 months. One-party consent state, legal, stored on encrypted drive. Selected transcripts. Jennifer to her mother. Phone call, March 15th. Marcus? Oh, he's fine, still traveling constantly. Honestly, I barely notice when he's gone. He's like a paycheck that occasionally shows up in person. The kids don't even really know him, but the money's good, so we deal with it. Ashley to her friends, recorded at family dinner, April 3. My dad is so awkward. Like he tries to ask about my life, and I'm like, dude, just leave the credit card and go back to wherever. We're not friends. He's just the bank. Brandon on his stream, recorded while gaming, May 22. Yeah, my dad pays for everything. He's loaded, but like super boring about it. Doesn't even spend it on cool shit. Just works constantly. I'm like, bro, what's the point of having money if you don't enjoy it? Anyway, when I inherit, I'm gonna actually live. Fast cars, sick house, the works. When I inherit, he was 19. I was 45 and healthy. And he was already planning how to spend my money after I died. That's who they were. That's who I'd enabled by never setting boundaries, by always providing, by being the ATM. At 5:55 a.m., I made myself coffee in the hotel room, waited, watched the clock. 6:09 a.m. Robert would be executing the freeze now. Every credit card declining, every automatic payment stopping, every subscription canceling, the entire financial architecture that supported their luxury lifestyle gone. In minutes, they'd start to realize. And then we'd see who they really were, whether they'd ever actually cared about me, or whether I'd been right all along. I was just the ATM, and ATMs don't work when there's no money in them. I sipped my coffee and waited for my phone to ring. The morning after the first call came at 6:47 a.m., Jennifer. I let it ring, watched her name flash on the screen, let it go to voicemail. 3 minutes later, Ashley calling, ignored. 4 minutes after that, Brandon, ignored. Then the voicemail started arriving. Jennifer, 6:47 a.m. Marcus, something's wrong with my credit card. It was declined at the spa. Call me back immediately, this is embarrassing. Not, good morning. Not, how are you? Just demands, as always. Ashley, 6:50 p.m. Dad, my card isn't working. I'm at brunch with Cassidy and Morgan and it's like super embarrassing. Call me back ASAP. Brandon, 6:54 a.m. Yo, Dad, my card got declined at Best Buy. Need you to fix this. I'm trying to buy a new graphics card. I listened to all 3, deleted them, made more coffee. 7:15 a.m. Jennifer calling again. This time I answered. Marcus, finally, something is wrong. All my cards are declined. The country club called saying there's an issue with membership payment. What's happening? Nothing's wrong, I said calmly. I canceled the cards, stopped the payments. Silence on the line. Long silence. You what? I canceled them. All of them. Your credit cards, Ashley's cards, Brandon's cards, country club membership, car payments, apartment rent. All of it. You can't do that. Jennifer's voice went shrill. Those are our cards, our expenses. You can't just... They're not our cards. cards, I interrupted. They're my cards that you were authorized users on. My accounts that I allowed you access to, and I've removed that access. Permanently. Marcus, this is insane. We have bills, we have expenses, you have expenses you can't afford. I said, because you don't actually have money. You have access to my money. Had access. Past tense. I'm your wife. You're my wife who's been fucking her tennis instructor for 18 months, who told him I was too weak to leave, who treats me like an inconvenience, who gave me leftover chicken while eating steak. Another long silence. You've been spying on me. Documenting, I corrected. Legal in this state. And yes, I know everything, Jennifer. Every hotel room, every lie, every text message where you laughed about what a bore I was. Marcus, please, let's talk about this like adults. Adults? Adults who treat their spouse with respect? Adults who don't cheat? Adults who don't mock the person providing their entire lifestyle? Those kinds of adults. You can't cut me off. I'll divorce you. I'll take half of everything. I laughed. Actually laughed. Please do. Please file for divorce. I have the prenup right here. The one you signed, with the infidelity clause. The one that says if you cheat, you get nothing. The one my lawyer is very excited to enforce. Please, Jennifer, file. Let's see how that goes for you. I heard her breathing, panicked breathing. The house is in my name only, bought with my money. Before marriage, you have no claim. The cars, corporate leases, my company, my name. My country club membership, corporate membership. You were my guest. You're not anymore. Marcus, you can't do this to me. I can. I am. You wanted me to be just the ATM, so I'm showing you what happens when the ATM stops working. I hung up. 2 minutes later, Ashley calling. I answered. Dad, what the fuck? My rent is due today and the payment didn't go through. My landlord is threatening to evict me. I don't have to do anything, I said calmly. You're 22 years old, an adult. Adults pay their own rent. But I don't have money. You pay my rent. I did. I'm not anymore. Figure it out. Dad, I can't just figure it out. I'll be homeless. Then get a job. Welcome to adulthood, Ashley. A job? I don't have time for a job. I have classes. You failed out of college 3 months ago. You don't have classes. You have Instagram and shopping, neither of which I'm funding anymore. You've been spying on me too. Paying attention, I said, which is what parents do. And what I discovered is that I've spent $850,000 over 4 years funding a lifestyle for a daughter who publicly mocks me, who calls me just the bank, and who hasn't earned a single college credit in 2 years. That stops now. But Dad, you posted our daddy's money on Instagram. You laughed about my sad plate at dinner. You told your friends I'm not really family, just the ATM. Did you think that had no consequences? Silence. Ashley, you're an adult. Act like one, get a job, pay your rent, figure out your life. I'm done funding your failure. I hung up. Brandon called 30 seconds later. Dad, what the hell? Ashley says you canceled all our cards? I did. But I need a new graphics card. My stream quality is suffering. Then buy one with your own money. I don't have money. You pay for everything. I did. I'm not anymore. You're 19. Get a job. A job? Dad, I'm building a streaming career. That takes time. I can't work some loser job while what? While playing video games 12 hours a day in an apartment I pay $3,500 a month for? That apartment lease ends this month, Brandon. It's not renewing. Figure out where you're going to live. You can't kick me out. I'm not kicking you out. I'm stopping paying your rent. There's a difference. You're an adult. Adults support themselves. This is bullshit. You're a terrible father. A terrible father who's given you everything for 19 years? Who paid for private school? Who paid for 2 cars you totaled? Who paid a lawyer when you got a DUI? Who paid $25,000 to settle your assault charge? That terrible father? Twayance. He didn't know I knew about the assault settlement. His mother had handled it quietly. Yeah, Brandon said finally, voice sullen. That father, the one who thinks money fixes everything, who's never actually here, who doesn't know us. You're right, I said. I don't know you. Because whenever I tried to have a conversation, you couldn't be bothered. Whenever I called, you were too busy gaming. Whenever I came home, you couldn't look up from your screen. So no, Brandon, I don't know you. But I know your Twitch bio says, living the dream on dad's dime, LOL. And I know you told your viewers you're planning how to spend my money when I die. So, yeah, I think I know enough. I hung up. Then I blocked all 3 numbers, made more coffee, sat by the hotel window watching the city wake up, watching people go to work, people who earned their livings, who supported themselves, who weren't waiting for an inheritance or living off someone else's hard work. At 8:30 a.m., hotel security called my room. Mr. Hammond, there are 3 people in the lobby demanding to see you. They're being disruptive. Should we call police? No, I said. I'll come down. Give me 5 minutes. I dressed carefully, business casual, composed, in control. Took the elevator to the lobby. My family was there. Jennifer, Ashley, and Brandon. All 3 looked like they'd rushed out uncombed hair, thrown on clothes, panic in their eyes. They saw me, started shouting simultaneously. You can't do this. Dad, this is insane. Marcus, we need to talk. I held up one hand. They stopped. Years of trained response. When Marcus raised his hand, it meant, be quiet. It was the only authority they'd ever recognized from me. We can talk, I said calmly, but not here. There's a conference room. Follow me. Hotel manager Jennifer, who knew me, I'd been staying here for months, showed us to a private room, closed the door. I sat at the head of the table. They stood. I didn't offer them chairs. So, I said, here's the situation. Last night, you gave me leftover chicken while you ate steaks. You laughed about me. Ashley explicitly said I'm not family, just the ATM. You've all been treating me this way for years. Jennifer, you've been cheating for 18 months. Ashley, you've failed out of college 3 times while spending $500,000 of my money. Brandon, you've totaled 2 cars, gotten a DUI, been charged with assault, and haven't attended 70% of your college classes, all while I've funded everything. Every car, every house payment, every credit card, every luxury, all of it. I looked at each of them. You wanted me to be just the ATM? Fine. I showed you what that means. What happens when the ATM stops working, when the provider stops providing. Now you're here, demanding I turn the money back on, demanding I keep funding the lifestyle you feel entitled to. So here's my question. Why should I? Jennifer spoke first. Because I'm your wife. Who's been cheating on me? Next, Ashley. Because I'm your daughter. Who publicly mocks me, who failed out of school 3 times, who posted "Don't earn daddy's money" while spending my money. Next, Brandon. Because families support each other. Do they? Did you support me? Did any of you support me? Or did you just take? Just demand? Just treat me like an inconvenience who funded your lives? Silence. That's what I thought, I said. So here's what happens now. The house is going up for sale. It's in my name. Jennifer, you'll need to find somewhere else to live. Ashley, your apartment lease is terminated. Brandon, same. You'll all need to figure out housing. Jennifer, you'll need a job. Ashley, Brandon, same. You're all adults. Time to act like it. Marcus, you can't do this, Jennifer started. Watch me, I said. Prenup says I can, lawyer says I can, and I am. You can file for divorce if you want. Invoke the infidelity clause. See how that works out. Or you can accept that your free ride is over, that the ATM has shut down, that you need to support yourselves now. Your choice. I stood up. We're done here. You can't reach me at the block numbers. My lawyer will contact you about the house sale and divorce proceedings if you file. Otherwise, figure out your lives, like adults. I walked to the door. Dad, wait! Ashley was crying now. We can fix this. You can change? I asked. Can you? Or are you just panicking because the money stopped? Because that's what this looks like. Not remorse, not understanding, just panic. I left them in the conference room, went back to my hotel room, sat down, and realized I felt lighter than I had in years. The consequences unfold week 1. The social media fallout was immediate and spectacular. Ashley's Instagram, day 3 after the freeze, going through a rough time, family stuff, would appreciate privacy and support. Comments from her friends, OMG babe, what happened? Are you okay? Whatever it is, we're here for you. Then one of her friends, Cassidy, I think, who'd been at that declined card brunch, decided to spill, her dad cut her off LOL. No more daddy's credit card. She's broke. The comments changed. Wait, what? OMG, no way. What did you do? Ashley's response. My dad is having a mental breakdown. He's being abusive, cutting off his family for no reason. Please send support. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. Someone must have given my number out. Hi, Mr. Hammond. This is Cassidy, Ashley's friend. Just wanted you to know she's telling everyone you're abusive and crazy. Thought you should know. Also, she's been lying about still being in college. We all knew. Just FYI. I didn't respond. Didn't need to. The truth would surface. Jennifer's reality check. Day 4. Country club called her. Membership payment declined. Per club rules, she had 72 hours to settle, or membership would be terminated. She called them from my block number, from her mother's phone. Asked for extension. They refused. Membership canceled day 7. Her friends at the club, some sympathetic initially. Then the truth leaked. The affair. The $180,000 in annual club expenses. The fact that Jennifer hadn't worked in 23 years and had no money of her own. The sympathy evaporated. Country club friends are only friends when you can afford to be at the country club. Jennifer's mother called me. I'd unblocked her number. Marcus, how can you do this to my daughter? She's struggling. Your daughter cheated on me for 18 months, I said. Spent my money on her affair. Told her boyfriend I was too weak to leave. How can you defend that? Well, I mean, marriage is complicated. Is it? Is cheating complicated? Because I thought it was pretty simple. Don't fuck other people when you're married. Marcus, language. No, you don't get to pearl clutch at my language when you're defending your daughter's affair. Either support her choices or don't. But don't pretend I'm the villain here. She hung up, called back 2 hours later. Jennifer needs money. For rent, for food. She has nothing. Then she should get a job, like adults do. She's 52. Who's going to hire her? Lots of places. Retail, restaurants, administration. She's got 23 years of managing household finances and country club committees. That's marketable experience if she frames it right. You can't expect her to work retail. Why not? I've worked hard for 23 years to support her. Why can't she work? No answer. Tell Jennifer I'll pay for 2 months of rent at a modest apartment, $1,200 a month, not the luxury she's used to, basic. After that, she's on her own. If she files for divorce, even that stops. Your choice. I hung up. Ashley's reckoning. Day 8. Eviction notice. She called Tom, my brother, crying. Tom called me. Marcus, I know you're mad at them, but Ashley's about to be homeless. Can't you? She has a trust fund. I tell man, I said. What? Small trust from her grandmother, Robert's mother, $15,000. Enough for first month rent and deposit on a modest apartment. She's not homeless. She just can't live in luxury anymore. Does she know about the trust? She should. It was set up when she was 18. I told her then. She probably forgot because she never needed it. Never needed to manage her own money. Now she does. Tom was quiet. You really thought of everything. I documented everything, I corrected. Planned for this possibility. For the day I'd need to cut them off. That day came sooner than I expected, but I was ready. Ashley accessed the trust. Got a studio apartment, $900 a month, 400 square feet, shared building laundry, nothing like her previous luxury apartment. Her Instagram, day 12, new place, new chapter, learning what really matters. Growth, shock our humble beginnings. The comments were less sympathetic now. People had figured out she'd been lying about college, lying about her hard work, lying about everything. Brandon's transformation. Brandon tried couch surfing. 3 of his gaming friends all said no after a few days. Dude, you don't clean up, you don't buy food, you just game all day. That's not cool. Day 10, Brandon called from his mother's phone. Dad, I need help. I have nowhere to stay. Did you get a job? I applied places. No one's hiring. Because you applied to 3 places. Try 50. Try 100. That's what job hunting means when you have no experience and no degree. It's hard. Yes, it is. Welcome to what most people experience. Figure it out, Brandon. Day 14. Brandon got a job. Warehouse work. 16-hour, full-time. He called me, voice bitter. Happy? I'm working at a warehouse. This is humiliating. No, I said. Humiliating is totaling 2 cars your father bought. Humiliating is getting a DUI. Humiliating is posting on Twitch that you're waiting for your dad to die so you can inherit his money. Working an honest job? That's not humiliating. That's called being an adult. Be proud of it. He hung up, but he kept the job. Week 3. The lawyer confrontation. Jennifer hired a lawyer. Good one, expensive one. Her mother paid. The lawyer called my lawyer. My client wants to discuss settlement, avoid costly divorce proceedings. My lawyer, Robert Chen, ruthless, brilliant. Your client has no leverage. Prenup is ironclad. Infidelity clause is explicit. She gets nothing if she files. If Mr. Hammond files, she gets basic spousal support for 2 years max, and only if she doesn't contest. No property, no assets, no ongoing support. Tell her to accept the offer on the table or it gets worse. Jennifer's lawyer called back 3 days later. Can we at least discuss the house? She has nowhere to go. Mr. Hammond is offering 2 months' rent at a modest apartment, $2,400 total. That's more generous than the prenup requires. Take it or leave it. They took it. Jennifer moved into a 1-bedroom apartment in a decent but not luxury neighborhood. Got a job, retail management at a department store, $45,000 a year. Her first real job in 23 years. Week 4, extended family reactions, my sister called. Marcus, people are talking. Some say you're being cruel. Others say your family had it coming. What do you want me to tell them? Tell them the truth, that I funded a lifestyle for 23 years for a family that treated me like an ATM, that my wife cheated, that my kids failed and demanded more money, that they gave me leftover chicken while eating steaks and laughed about how I wasn't really family. Tell them that. Let them judge. She paused. When you put it that way, yeah, they had it coming. I'm on your side, Marcus. Thanks. Jennifer's family turned on me completely, called me abusive, called me controlling, said I was punishing Jennifer for one mistake that lasted 18 months, one mistake that involved hotel rooms on my credit card. But I didn't engage, didn't argue, didn't defend myself. The truth was documented. Anyone who asked could see it. Month 2, the social collapse. Ashley's friend group fractured. The wealthy girls who'd surrounded her when she had money, gone. They'd bonded over shopping and clubs and luxury she could no longer afford. But a few remained, the ones who'd actually been genuine friends. Morgan, one of them, called me. Mr. Hammond, I just wanted to say, I think you did the right thing. Ashley needed this. She was becoming really toxic, really entitled. This might actually help her. Thank you, Morgan. That means a lot. She's working now. Did she tell you? At a coffee shop? She's actually good at it. And she's nicer, less bratty. Just thought you should know. Ashley working. Actually working. That was something. Brandon's streaming channel died. Without luxury apartment as backdrop. Without expensive equipment. Without the time to stream 12 hours daily because he was working. The viewers left. His last stream, 6 viewers. Sorry guys, life got complicated. Might not stream regularly anymore. Thanks for the support. Comments. Dude, what happened? Your dad cut you off, LOL, we all know. Get a real job, loser. He shut down the channel. Month 3. The breaking point. I received a letter, handwritten, from Jennifer. Marcus, I don't know if you'll read this, but I need to say it anyway. I fucked up, completely. Not just the affair, though, that was unforgivable, but everything. The way I treated you, the way I let the kids treat you, the way we all took you for granted. I'm working retail now, making $45,000 a year. After taxes, after rent, after bills, I have maybe $500 a month left. I can't afford anything extra, can't eat out, can't shop, can't do anything I used to do. And I'm realizing this is how most people live. This is normal. And I've been living like royalty for 23 years without appreciating it. Without appreciating you. You worked so hard, traveled constantly, built a company, provided everything, and I repaid you by cheating, by mocking you, by treating you like an inconvenience. I don't expect forgiveness. Don't expect you to take me back. Don't expect anything. I just wanted you to know, I understand now. I understand what I had, what I lost, what I destroyed. I'm sorry, truly, deeply sorry. If you ever want to talk, I'm here, but I understand if you don't. Jennifer, I read it 3 times, felt something, not forgiveness, not trust, but acknowledgement. She understood, finally. Whether that understanding came from genuine remorse or just from experiencing consequences, I didn't know. But it was something, resolution and reckoning. Month 3, day 15, I agreed to meet Jennifer, coffee shop, neutral territory, public enough to feel safe, quiet enough to talk. She looked different, older somehow, tired, but also clearer, more present, more real. Thank you for meeting me, she said, nervous, humble, words I'd never heard from her before. I got your letter, I said. Did you believe it? I don't know, I said honestly. I want to, but I don't know if you're genuinely remorseful or just missing the lifestyle. Don't know if you've actually changed or if you're just adapting to circumstances. She nodded. That's fair. I don't know either, honestly. I know I'm sorry. I know I understand what I lost, but I also know I'm new at this, at working, at budgeting, at being normal. I don't know if the understanding comes from genuine growth or just from experiencing consequences. The honesty surprised me. At least you're honest about not knowing, I said. It's all I have left, Jennifer said. I lied about so much for so long. The affair, the spending, the way I felt about you, all lies. So now I'm trying honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. We sat in silence for a moment. Do you still love me? She asked. Or is that gone? I don't know, I said. I loved who I thought you were. Whether I can love who you actually are, I don't know yet. Would need time to figure that out. Is that a possibility? Time? A chance? Maybe, I said. Under conditions, boundaries. If you're willing to do the work. What work? Therapy. Both individual and marriage counseling. Real therapy. Not just going through motions. Actually examining why you became someone who could cheat, who could treat her husband with contempt, who could spend years taking everything and giving nothing. She nodded. I can do that. What else? You keep working, keep supporting yourself. Even if we reconcile, even if I let you back into my financial life, you maintain your own income, your own independence. You never become financially dependent on me again. Agreed. And the affair, you cut all contact with Marcus, permanently. Block him, delete him. He doesn't exist. Already done, she said quietly. Blocked him the day the card stopped working. He called me from a different number, said I was boring now that I wasn't rich. That's when I realized he never cared about me either. He cared about the lifestyle, about the money, about the luxury. Same as I'd treated you, karma, I guess. Karma, I agreed. What about the kids? She asked. Ashley and Brandon. What are your terms with them? Same. They keep working. They maintain their own income. Brandon finishes his degree community college, state school, something affordable. Ashley gets her degree also affordable. They prove they can support themselves, contribute to their own lives. Then we talk about relationship, about whether we can rebuild trust. Have you talked to them? Not yet. Wanted to talk to you first. Figure out if there's any possibility of salvage. If not, then talking to them is pointless. Jennifer looked at her coffee, hands wrapped around the cup. Cheap manicure, she'd done it herself, not at the spa. Wearing simple clothes, Target, not designer. I never thought it would come to this, she said. When I married you, you were 22, working telecommunications, making $60K. I thought I was marrying someone adequate, someone who'd provide basic security. When you started making more money, when the business took off, I thought I'd won the lottery. Rich husband who was gone all the time so I could do whatever I wanted. It was perfect. Except I wasn't a lottery ticket, I said. I was a person, your husband. I know that now, she said, but I didn't then. I saw you as a means to an end, as a provider, as the ATM, like Ashley said. And I taught the kids to see you that way too. That's on me. I did that. I ruined their relationships with you by modeling that contempt. Yes, I said, you did. Can you ever forgive that? I don't know. Ask me in a year. After therapy. After you've proven consistent change. After I see whether this understanding is real or temporary. She nodded. That's fair. That's more than fair. We finished our coffee in silence. As we stood to leave, Jennifer asked, one more question. The prenup. The way everything was in your name. The financial structure that let you cut us off instantly. Did you always plan for this? From the beginning? No, I said. When I set it up, it was protection, just in case. I hoped I'd never need it. But over the years, As you became more entitled, as the kids became more demanding, as the respect disappeared. Yes. I kept the structure in place deliberately, knowing someday I might need to use it. The leftover chicken was just the trigger. The moment I realized they see me as an ATM, time to show them what that really means. Smart, she said. Cruel, but smart. Cruel would have been leaving you homeless with nothing. I gave you apartment money, time to transition, basic support. That's more than the prenup required, more than you deserved after 18 months of cheating. You're right, she said. Thank you for that, for not being as cruel as you could have been. I didn't do it for you, I said. I did it for me, so I could live with myself, so I could say I gave you a chance even after you'd betrayed me. We left separately, her to her retail job, me to my company. Month 6, family therapy started. Me, Jennifer, Ashley, Brandon, all of us in one room with Dr. Patricia Morrison, family therapist. First session was brutal. Ashley, tell your father how his actions affected you, Dr. Morrison said. He cut us off without warning, Ashley said. Made me homeless, made me work at a coffee shop, humiliated me in front of all my friends. It was cruel. Marcus, respond to that. I gave you warning for years, I said. Every time you mocked me, every time you posted honored daddy's money, every time you failed out of school and demanded more tuition, every time you treated me like a wallet instead of your father. Those were warnings. You chose not to listen. But I didn't know you'd cut me off. Why should you? You'd never experienced consequences before. I'd always bailed you out, always paid for everything, always enabled you. That was my mistake. One I corrected. Brandon, Dr. Morrison said, your perspective? I thought Dad didn't care about us, Brandon said. He was never home, never at my games, my school stuff, anything. Just sent money. So yeah, I thought that's all he was good for. Money. Turns out I was wrong. Turns out he was working to support us and we never appreciated it. But also, he never told us what he was doing, never explained, just wasn't there. I was there, I said, voice tight. I called. You didn't answer. I came to games. You didn't acknowledge me. I tried to talk. You were always gaming. I was there, Brandon. You just never looked up. Silence. Is that true? Dr. Morrison asked Brandon. Maybe, he said quietly. Maybe I ignored him. Maybe I took him for granted. Maybe I was so used to him just providing that I stopped seeing him as a person. That's progress, Dr. Morrison said, acknowledging responsibility. The sessions continued, twice a month, painful, honest, slow progress. Month 9, Ashley graduated from community college, associate degree in business. She called me, Dad, I wanted to tell you, I actually finished college. Congratulations, I said. Meant it. I'm transferring to state school for my bachelor's, working full-time and going part-time. It'll take 3 years, but I'll do it without your money. I want to prove I can. I'm proud of you, I said. First time I'd said that in years. Really proud, she cried. Thank you, Dad. That means everything. Month 12, Brandon completed his first full year at state school. 3.4 GPA, working warehouse job, living with 2 roommates, supporting himself. He called on my birthday. Hey, Dad, just wanted to say happy birthday and thank you for cutting me off. I was a spoiled asshole, needed a wake-up call. This was it. You're welcome, I said. I'm glad you're figuring it out. Are we okay? You and me? We're getting there, I said. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep proving you've changed. We'll get there. Month 15. Jennifer and I had been dating. Actual dating, not living together, not sharing finances. Just spending time together, talking, rebuilding. "Do you think we can make this work?" she asked one evening. We were at a modest restaurant, not steakhouse, just normal. "I think we're different people than we were," I said. "You're working, independent, genuine in a way you never were before. I'm less bitter, less angry. Seeing you actually change is helping. Do you trust me again?" "Not fully, but more than I did 6 months ago. Trust is rebuilt slowly, over years. We're making progress." "Is that enough? Progress?" "For now," I said. "Ask me in another year." Month 18, family dinner, all 4 of us, at a casual restaurant. Everyone ordered similar meals, burgers, pasta, nothing extravagant. Nobody got leftovers. Nobody got treated as less. We talked about work, about school, about life. Normal conversation, respectful conversation. "Dad," Ashley said, "I wanted to ask, why did you do it? Why not just leave? Why the whole cutting us off thing?" "Because leaving would have taught you nothing," I said. "You would have just found another provider, another person to use. I wanted you to understand what you'd lost, what you'd taken for granted. The only way to do that was to take it away." "Did it work?" Brandon asked. "You tell me," I said. "Are you different people than you were 18 months ago?" "Yes," Ashley said immediately. "Completely." "I think so," Brandon said. "I mean, I work, I pay my bills, I appreciate what I have. That's different." "Then it worked," I said. Jennifer reached across the table, took my hand. "Thank you," she said, "for not giving up on us completely, for giving us a chance to change." "I didn't give you a chance," I corrected gently. "I gave you consequences. You chose to change in response. That's on you. I just stopped enabling." "Still," she said, "thank you." We finished dinner, paid our own checks, everyone paid their own, split it down the middle, equal. As we left, walking to cars, Ashley linked her arm through mine. "Love you, Dad. For real. Not as an ATM, as my dad." "Love you too," I said, meant it. Present day, month 24. I sold the company. $50 million became $68 million after 2 years of growth. I could retire, travel, live anywhere. Instead, I stayed, started a new company, smaller, consulting-based, something I could run without constant travel. Bought a modest house, 2,200 square feet. Nice neighborhood, not luxury. 3 bedrooms, 1 for me, 1 for guests, 1 for office. Jennifer didn't live with me. Had her own apartment, her own life, her own income. But she visited. We spent time together, took things slow. Ashley was in her final year at state school, working full-time, had a boyfriend who worked construction. He's good, Dad. He works hard, treats me right, doesn't care that I'm not rich. Brandon was thriving. 3.7 GPA, promoted to supervisor at warehouse. Turns out I'm good at managing people. Who knew? Were we a perfect family? No. Were we healed? Not entirely. Trust was still rebuilding. Relationships were still works in progress. But we were real, honest, respectful. Nobody treated me like an ATM anymore, and that was worth more than any amount of money. Final scene, Sunday dinner, my modest house. I cooked nothing fancy. Roasted chicken, vegetables, simple meal. Everyone helped. Ashley set table. Brandon made salad. Jennifer did dishes after. We sat together. Equal portions, equal respect, equal family. "Remember the steak dinner?" Jennifer asked. "The one that started all this?" "The leftover chicken," I said. "Yeah, I remember. I think about it sometimes," she said. "How different things could have been if I'd just treated you like family, like a husband, like a person." "Can't change the past," I said. "Can only learn from it." "Did we learn?" Ashley asked. "Really?" You're here, I said, working, supporting yourselves, treating me with respect, treating each other with respect. Yeah, I think you learned. We ate together, talked, laughed even. Normal family dinner. Not perfect, not without scars, but real. And when dinner ended, everyone helped clean. Everyone contributed. Everyone treated the meal and each other with respect. Nobody got leftovers. Nobody got treated as less. We were family. Actually, genuinely family. It had taken 2 years. Taken cutting them off completely. Taken consequences and rock bottom and hard lessons. But we'd gotten here, to this moment, to this dinner, to this real relationship built on respect instead of money. Was it permanent? Would they revert? Would Jennifer cheat again? Would the kids become entitled again? I didn't know, couldn't know, could only observe, maintain boundaries, and hope the change was genuine. But for tonight, for this dinner, we were okay. We were family. We were real. And that was enough.